news.
Good evening. This is Jamila Eligbede. Reading with me is
Boluwaji Ogumola.
Bringing you Newscope, our daily news program of in-depth reports, interviews and commentaries. First, the highlights. FG records 2.66 trillion naira fiscal deficit in the second quarter of 2025.
Ex-AGF Malami son alleged with 1.014 billion naira money laundering.
Your government approves 39 kilometers second lot of Ibadan Circular Road.
Around the foreign scene, Libyan army chief killed in plane crash.
Now the details. Nigeria recorded a fiscal deficit of 2.66 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2025, according to the Budget Office of the Federation BOF. This kept the country within the ECOWAS convergence limits of 3% of GDP. According to the BOF 2025 second quarter budget implementation report, BIR revenue collection fell short of budget projections but showed improvement compared to the same period in 2024. The report noted that gross oil revenue stood at 4.77 trillion naira, below the 12.76 trillion naira quarterly target, while non-oil revenue raised to 4.46 trillion naira, slightly above estimates. It highlighted that total net distributable revenue for the three tiers of government after deductions was 9.85 trillion naira, reflecting a shortfall of 7.01 trillion naira.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and the Tax Reforms Committee, Taiwo Oyedele, says Nigeria has fewer than 10 million active individual taxpayers. This, according to him, underscores the country's narrow tax base and the urgent need for data-driven reforms at subnational levels. Mr. Oyedele made the assertion while delivering a keynote address at the Tax Reform Summit 2026 in Lagos. He said, improving the quality of data for fiscal and economic planning, it is critical to expanding the tax net. The Tax Reform Committee boss also highlighted the significant revenue potential of property taxation, describing it as one of the most stable but underutilized sources of income for states and local government.
Former Senate leader Lindume has urged President Bola Tinubu to suspend the implementation of the disputed Tax Reform Acts scheduled for January. He made a call in a statement issued today in Abuja following claims and counterclaims over alleged alterations to the tax laws. The appeal comes amidst protests by opposition politicians and civil society organizations, including the Nigerian Bar Association, which have demanded that the federal government halt the implementation of the laws. Reacting, Ndume urged Tinubu to set up an ad hoc committee to verify the authenticity of the laws and investigate the alleged alterations. The former Senate Chief Whip warned that implementing the laws without resolving the allegations will create legitimacy challenges and undermine public trust.
The federal government has filed new money laundering charges against former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, and his son, Abubakar Abdulaziz Malami. The duo are answering to allegations of financial transactions exceeding 1 billion naira. The 16-count charge filed before the Federal High Court in Abuja lists the Federal Republic of Nigeria as the complainant, while Hajia Bashir named as a co-defendant. According to court documents, the defendants are accused of handling, transferring, and concealing funds suspected to be proceeds of unlawful activities. The prosecution claims that the funds were laundered through corporate entities, including Metropolitan Autotech Limited, which was allegedly used as a front to obscure the source and movement of the money.
The Oluyole State government has approved the second lot of Ibadan Circular Road's spanning 39 kilometers. This is alongside 46 kilometers of inner roads in Ogbomoso. The approvals came during the 16th State Executive Council meeting, which was held at the Executive Council chambers of the Governor's Office, Agodi Ibadan. Briefing journalists at the end of the meeting, the State Commissioner for Public Works and Transport, Abdulmajid Mbojibola, noted that the engineer Seyi Makinde-led administration is committed to the completion of the second phase of the circular road within the next 18 months. Also speaking, the Commissioner for Energy, Professor Daud Shongudoyin, announced the approval of solar street lighting from Oritakpuri to Oluyole in Ibadan, as well as hybrid solar power backup system at Onikpekpeye and Odogbo Barracks. Other approvals include additional road markings across the state, beddings across 58 secondary healthcare facilities, and the allocation of 1,000 acres of land for the Larry Farm project.
The Oyo State Forum of Head of Service, Permanent Secretaries and Head of Ministries, Departments and Agencies today distributed food items to motherless babies' homes to celebrate Governor Seyi Makinde's birthday at 58. The State Head of Service, Mrs. Olubumi, led the distribution of the food items at the Rehabilitation Center for the Disabled, Monia, Ibadan, and Juvenile Correctional Center, Poly Road, Ibadan. The Head of Service said the gesture of donating food items to the needy and vulnerable to mark Governor Seyi Makinde's birthday anniversary is an annual event. She praised the Governor's good heart and his effort to bring dividends of democracy to the masses and the prioritizing of civil servant welfare. Wishing the Governor, whose birthday anniversary comes up on Christmas Day, many happy returns, Head of Service urged civil and public servants to remain dedicated to duty. One of the government wards at the Juvenile Correctional Center, Ibadan, Bolahon Raji Makinde commended Governor Seyi Makinde's leadership and administrative prowess and recognition of the lead privilege in the scheme of things.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Ibadan. President Bola Tinubu has renewed his pledge to safeguard religious freedom across Nigeria, assuring citizens that his administration is firmly committed to protecting people of all faiths from violence and discrimination. In his 2025 Christmas goodwill message delivered today, the President stressed that his government will continue to uphold the constitutional rights of Nigerians to live peacefully, practice their faith freely, and pursue their goals without fear. He noted that every citizen, irrespective of religion or ethnic background, deserves safety, dignity, and equal protection under the law. Extending Christmas greetings to Christians in Nigeria and across the globe, the President offered prayers for lasting peace in the country, particularly among communities of different religious beliefs. He encouraged the Nigerians to reflect on the teachings of Jesus Christ, whom he described as the Prince of Peace. Tinubu also advised citizens traveling during the festive period to remain patient and law-abiding on the roads, while wishing them safe journeys to their destinations.
Meanwhile, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Oluyole, has felicitated with Nigerians and members of the Armed Forces of Nigeria on the occasion of Christmas, calling for unity, peaceful coexistence, and a renewed commitment to national progress. In a Christmas message issued today, Oluyole said that personnel welfare remains a priority for the Armed Forces leadership. He assured that efforts are ongoing to improve living and working conditions, healthcare, accommodation, and allowances of personnel, as well as support for families of deceased personnel. The CDS paid tribute to frontline troops deployed across various theaters of operation, commending their courage, discipline, and professionalism. He added that cooperation between the military and the public remains critical to achieving sustainable peace and security.
As the Yuletide season witnesses heightened mobility across the nation, stakeholders at the Ibadan Central Bus Terminal, Iwo Road, have commended the Oyo State government's efforts in establishing a modern and well-coordinated transport system that has significantly improved travel experiences. However, with the terminal's improvements, passengers knew that the mounting expense of transportation persists as a substantial hurdle this festive season. Our reporter, Oluyole Oladile, who visited the terminal, now reports.
The Ibadan Central Bus Terminal was abuzz with activity as travelers converged on the facility to commence their journey to diverse locations across the country, intent on celebrating the Yuletide with family and loved ones. Findings from these reporters' interactions with passengers traveling across the southwest showed that transport fares have increased compared to last year, largely due to the high fuel costs.
From Lagos down to Ibadan, the cost of traffic is 5,000 naira. This particular bus I boarded is 3,700. Oshogbo.
There's a reduce in the cost of fuel now, but the transporters, I don't know what's wrong with them. I'm going to Shagam now. Currently now is 5.2.
Some passengers expressed that the terminal has simplified their journeys, emphasizing better organization and diminished stress levels relative to the past.
The use of this terminal actually is my movement. So as of last year, no terminal here. And the asset is easy mobility.
That's what I can say about this terminal. It is easy for.
The drivers and park leaders at the terminal have expressed their sincere gratitude to the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Seyi Makinde, for constructing the Ibadan Central Bus Terminal, which has significantly improved safety, reduced congestion, and enhanced passenger convenience, particularly during peak periods such as the festive season.
adúpẹ́ gan fún terminal kan bá wa kọ́ yìí àwọn èèyàn travel gan kọ́ lọ́wọ́ àfiṣẹ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ wọn.
àwọn èrò jáde lọ́dọ̀ ojú ọdún tó lọ torí pé adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gómìnà wa Ṣèyí Mákindé adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ọ̀gá wa Tọ́nà Ọmọlẹ́wà àfilówó mọ́tò nípa ìgbésẹ̀ náà là ń gbé.
Transport operators seek passengers' understanding and patience, assuring a safe and reliable service.
ọlọmọlọfẹ báyìí sírí tù tí ń gbé náà àti ìgbówó ọdún tó lọ kò tó báyìí torí ipò tí ìwọ̀n tó wà.
Despite concerns regarding expenses, the festive atmosphere prevailed with travelers displaying hopefulness and eagerness in reuniting with loved ones over the festive period. Oluyole Oladile, BCOS News.
In celebration of the Yuletide season, Nigerian markets have become vibrant hubs of activity, marked by a blend of excitement and concern among vendors and shoppers alike as they navigate the period's economic realities. In this special report, Olamide Owolabi takes a closer look at market activities, detailing how buyers and sellers are adapting to current economic pressures while striving to preserve the essence of the season.
The festive season is conventionally a period of merriment, family reunions, and heightened expenditure throughout Nigeria. As Christmas and the New Year draw closer, markets became pivotal hubs for preparations, converting traders and consumers. As families navigate through various market stalls to select food items, clothing, and gifts for celebrations, many customers have adopted a more cautious approach, meticulously comparing prices prior to making purchases, which has resulted in less crowded marketplaces compared to previous times. Business News carried out an extensive market survey across prominent markets in Ibadan to assess the current market trends and activities. In an interview with Business News, several poultry vendors noted that the prices of chicken are lower this year due to decreased poultry feed costs compared to the previous year, and they reported an increase in customer patronage.
Old layers 10,000. Our balance here only 25, only 22, only 21. Bali turkey 70,000. Bali chicken 50,000.
13,000 last. We are confirmed. We carry it outside by ourselves to sell it. And by last year we sold all these 17,000.
In interviews with traders, including those selling staples like rice, yam, pepper, and meat, viewed price drops across most items except rice, though they decried the slow market activity as not meeting expectations during the festive period.
báàgì ní ìsìn 62 ni à ń tà bí ní Bódìjà 58 ni wọ́n ń tà. Ráìsì tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ní lọ́wọ́ ni kì í ṣe yí pé bóyá ráìsì wọlé ráìsì ò wọlé wà 15 lẹ̀ wá báàgì rẹ̀ 45 42 lólóyin Sókótó 80,000 wọ́n ṣe ń tà ní. Kò tá a ṣe wà gbogbo rẹ̀ ti dẹ̀rọ̀ ọ̀pọ̀ ní gbogbo táǹtà báyìí kò sí gàrí kankan tó wọ́n báyìí.
2,000 passport upward. Lọ́mà tí ọdún bá ti fẹ́ dé báyẹn kó máa increase ọ̀tọ́dún báyìí ti lọ ó ti lè wálẹ̀ ọ̀bọ̀ for now price bàtà lè sí ó wà òkè àwọn èèyàn sì ń rà ó wà manageable. Wọ́n wá bá ti yẹ kó wá o ọjà dá ìlú le òṣòwò nílùú.
Àwọn ẹlẹ́ran náà ní ìsìn agbẹ́rin kalẹ̀ èrò kọ̀ wá kọ̀sọ́jà tó kọ́ lọ́wọ́ sàánú fún wa ni. ẹran wọn ọ̀bọ̀ kò tó sówó ta náà ní òjì káwọn èèyàn wá.
Buyers exhibited diverse perspectives on food prices, noticed slight decreases while many continue to cite food costs as significant concern during the festive season.
Ó wọ́n díẹ̀ sí o kọ́ lọ́ọ̀lẹ̀ o ó lọ́ọ̀lẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tó ti wá wọ́n sí báyìí a tún ti ń ra ráìsì 1,200 báyìí 2,180 a ti ń rà tẹ́lẹ̀.
Investigations revealed that while food prices have dropped in some cases, economic pressures are still affecting spending patterns in Ibadan markets during the Yuletide season. Olamide Owolabi, Business News.
On the foreign scene, Libya's Army Chief of Staff Mohammed Ali Ahmed Al-Haddad has died in a plane crash near the Turkish capital, Ankara. The crash occurred shortly after the private jet he was traveling in took off from an airport in the country. Foreign Desk Editor Folashade Akitola compiled the story and others as presented by Bimbo Akombi.
The crash on Tuesday killed everyone on board. The other victims were 4 high-ranking Libyan military officials as well as 3 crew members. Turkish officials said that initial investigations ruled out sabotage and instead pointed to a technical failure as the cause of the crash. Today, Turkish Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya said the black box from the jet had been recovered. Libyan Prime Minister Abdul Hamid Dibeiba confirmed Al-Haddad's death in a statement on Facebook, saying the tragic accident took place as he and his delegation were returning home. Al-Haddad was the top military commander in western Libya and played a crucial role in the ongoing United Nations brokered efforts to unify the country, which has been divided since 2014 following the NATO-backed revolt that toppled and killed long-time ruler Muammar Gaddafi. In the meantime, 2 police officers and another person have been killed in a blast in southern Moscow, where a general was killed recently by a car bomb Russia said was planted by Ukrainian intelligence, according to investigators. The 2 traffic police officers were killed early today in an explosion that occurred when they attempted to arrest a suspicious individual, the Russian investigative committee said. An investigation for attempted murder of law enforcement officers and explosives trafficking has been opened, it added. Another resident named Rosa said she was woken up by the explosion in the early hours and that the entire building appeared shaken. Russia said it suspected Ukraine was behind Savarov's killing, while there has been no official comment from Ukraine. Since the start of the Russian offensive against Ukraine in February 2022, several Russian generals, local officials and public figures supporting the offensive have died in explosions in Russia or in the occupied part of Ukraine. Kiev has sometimes claimed responsibility for these attacks. Bimbo Akombi, BCUS News.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the main points. Nigeria recorded a fiscal deficit of 2.66 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2025, according to the Budget Office of the Federation BOF.
The federal government has filed 16 alleged money laundering charges to the tune of 1.014 billion naira against the former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami SAN and his son Abubakar Abdulaziz Malami before the Federal High Court in Abuja.
The Oyo State government has approved the second lot of the Ibadan Circular Road, spanning 39 kilometers, including 46 kilometers of inner roads in Ogbomoso.
And on the foreign scene, Libya's Army Chief of Staff Mohammed Ali Ahmed Al-Haddad has died in a plane crash near the Turkish capital, Ankara.
Well, that's all from Newscope Desk for now. It was packaged by Mary Adedapo and delivered by
Jamila Ilegbede. Good evening.
And Boluwaji Ogumana. Thanks for listening, and do not forget to tune in for the Yoruba version at 8 p.m. Good evening.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ṣé bó ti máa ṣe nìtọ́dún tó tún fi wọlé bọ́ ọ? Níbo ni ó gbà wọlé? Èmi ọmọ fún ọ. Ọ̀sánù jẹ̀bọ nínú ìdọ̀tí rẹ yìí. Ewé ẹ̀kọ́ lọ́tún, ewé ọ̀lẹ̀ lósì. Abọ́tẹ̀ ti jẹun láti jẹta nu. Aṣọ tọmọ rẹ pọ̀ sí láti jẹrin rèé. Gbogbo olé ní irun gbà ìsí ọ̀.
Èmi ò lè jẹ́ kọ́tún tuntun ó bá mi nínú ìdọ̀tí ọjà ẹ̀.
On behalf of the board, management and the entire workforce of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Chief Mrs. Dotun Olaitan, Chairman for the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, warmly congratulate His Excellency, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, FNSE, the Executive Governor of Oyo State and Vice Chairman, Nigerian Governors Forum, on the occasion of his 58th birthday.
Your Excellency, your visionary leadership, dedication to governance, and steadfast commitment to the development of Oyo State continue to inspire hope and progress across our dear state. We celebrate a purposeful leader whose passion for service and people-centered governance is clearly evident.
We pray that Almighty God grants you long life, good health, renewed strength, and divine wisdom as you continue to lead Oyo State to greater heights.
Happy 58th birthday, Your Excellency, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, FNSC, the Executive Governor of Oyo State.
Announcer, Chief Mrs. Dotun Olaitan, Chairman, Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State.
You're about to listen to the hottest sound. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 98.5 FM. Ibadan. You're listening to the Urban Frequency. You're about to listen to the hottest sound. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 98.5 FM. Ibadan. You're listening to the Urban Frequency.